There are around 577 million people worldwide that are suffering with recurring low back pain, and this is only likely to increase due to our sedentary lifestyles. So let's look at what you can do to combat it. Hi everyone, and welcome to Exercise for Health. I'm Richard, and today I have 10 tips for people to manage their chronic low back pain. If you're new to this channel, we offer tips, advice and exercises each week to help you manage your health condition with physical activity. So go ahead and tap the subscribe button below and the bell icon if you want to be notified of when we upload a new video. Firstly, I will say that this video is addressing general mechanical low back pain and won't be applicable for people with a more serious spinal condition such as spondylolisthesis. So I will refer to these in a future video. However, this is the first of 3 videos addressing low back pain, and the next 2 will include an exercise routine and a stretching routine that you can follow. The most common cause for low back pain is prolonged inactivity and consistently being in a posture that places an uneven load on the spine. Being sat down at a computer desk or in a car for long periods of time adds to an increase in tension and workload for the muscles of the lower back, so they feel stiff and achy after a day's work. In addition, inactivity causes the glute muscles around the hips to gradually become weaker. Being seated with the knees and hips flexed means that the hamstrings on the back of the thigh and hip flexor muscles on the front of the hip become tighter, causing an imbalance of muscles that puts even more reliance on the lower back to maintain stability. So what can you do? Well, for starters, and most importantly, try and break up periods of long sitting with some standing movement. I say at the end of all my videos, stay active and keep moving, and this inherently will help alleviate many of the symptoms of low back pain. Just something as simple as standing up and stretching every 30 or 40 minutes, or regularly changing your position in your seat will offset the build-up of these issues and help manage the back pain in the long term. Whether you are standing or sitting, think about your posture. Are your ears over your shoulders? Are your shoulders over your hips? This ensures that you're stacking your spine correctly and allowing the muscles of the lower back to relax, thereby reducing back pain. Every time you move, whether it's standing up from a desk or bending down to do your shoelaces up, if you're consistently doing this everyday movement in a compromised spinal position, this is slouched over, then over time you're going to accelerate the degradation of the intervertebral discs in the spine, which will ultimately lead to back pain. So being mindful of your spinal position when moving will help reduce the risk of back pain in the long term. Hanging out can help. By hanging your body with the support of your feet so you can choose how much of your weight to put through your arms, you can effectively create a traction of the spine, which can provide some much needed relief from low back pain, and this can feel great. Regular walking for at least 10 minutes every day will go a long way to combating low back pain and helping you feel better. Although walking isn't a miracle intervention for chronic low back pain, the fact that it's free and it can be done anywhere and anytime makes it a form of physical activity that's accessible to everyone, and it gets people moving. Studies have shown that 30 minutes of walking on 3 days a week does have beneficial effects for reducing low back pain. So if you're not doing any exercise at all, this should be your start point. One tip though for when you're walking, and that is to ensure it's on a flat, level and even surface. If you're someone that exercises on a regular basis already, but still suffers with low back pain, then before starting any exercise program or sport, begin with the CAMEL mobility exercise as part of your warm-up. This movement, performed just 6 or 7 times, will help mobilize the spine by reducing the spinal friction and prepare it for additional forces applied to it with a movement or load. If you're doing any lifting of weights in a gym, ensure that you maintain a neutral spine. This is stacking the spine in the right way in its natural curve and avoiding additional stresses on one aspect of it. If you're lifting a weight off the ground, such as the deadlift, make sure that you're hip hinging so that the lumbar spine is not flexed, and focus on driving your hips up and forwards to lift the weight rather than using the lower back. If you are pressing a weight above the head, make sure that you activate your core muscles to prevent hyperextension of the lumbar spine to reduce any added compression on one side of the spinal column, especially when you're reaching your point of failure within a set. I've done a short 60-second video on what a neutral spine is, which you can see by clicking up here. One machine in the gym though that carries a word of warning is the rower. This is because the body's position and movement naturally place more stress on the lower back. For me, this is my favourite cardio machine, but I do find longer periods on it of around 20 minutes or more cause my back to feel very stiff. So if you're new to exercising in a gym or experiencing a bad flare-up of your back pain, then the rower may aggravate it due to the additional compression on the lumbar spine. So best to leave this out until your back pain subsides. Aim to regularly spend 10 minutes a day on 3 days a week, challenging your core muscles directly. Strengthening the muscles of the core will help provide a stronger foundation for stability of the torso when moving the body during a sport or exercise routine. I've done a video of the 3 best core exercises that we should all do, and I'll leave a link in the description below to this video if you want to watch it later. Add in some additional glute exercises into your weekly routine or workouts to strengthen this muscle group. This could be doing lunges or bridges if at home, or it could be performing exercises in a gym such as deadlifts or high step-ups to really activate the weaker muscles around the hip that indirectly affect the lower back. I will also have an exercise routine for people suffering with back pain to follow next week, so look out for that one. See if you can improve the flexibility of the hamstring and hip flexor muscles. You can add in some dynamic stretches for these muscle groups as part of your warm-up to some exercise, where you do a couple of sets of 10 for each leg. Or at the end of a workout or at the end of a day in a more relaxed manner with some static stretches holding for 20 to 30 seconds each. Look out for more videos on low back pain over the next few weeks, but I hope you can take something away from this video today. If so, please give it a like by clicking the thumbs up button below to help this channel grow so more people can benefit from it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to stay active, keep moving, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click here to subscribe to this channel or click here to watch a recent video. See you soon.